Hello, people. It's that time. It's that time again. So, welcome along. Welcome everyone to my live stream. Welcome to the channel. My name's Danny C. Let's get down to business, shall we? I hope everyone's doing good, and I hope everyone's well. So, let's get straight to it. So, this is the first round of the Gran Turismo World Series Manufacturers Cup for the online qualifiers. We've got an interesting campaign on our hands. We've obviously nearly a month since the latest patch update. After the spec free update, and so it's a totally different territory for not just for this car, but for many others as well. So I hope everyone's doing good, whatever you've been up to through day, night, whatever you're on with. So yeah, this is the manufacturer I'll be representing, and that is my dream sports car manufacturer, the McLaren. So I've no idea what to expect to be on the upcoming race, but we'll see how that goes as we go along. So obviously the 5 o'clock slot is the earliest that I can do. So I thought, you know what, I may as well just try to get that one in, and who knows, I may be coming across with somebody familiar, or maybe coming across with somebody who's in a group of people who I don't know. But we shall see. We shall see indeed. So I'm going to come out to the Escapes movies and then go into sport mode to give an insight to of what's to come for this Manufacturers Cup race. So this is the first day of the manufacturers. So what's going to be happening is that there's going to be a 22 lap race with the required tyre times that you do need to use the medium and the softs. Failing to comply with that two tyre compound rule will result in a penalty, probably as much as a minute or two. So obviously the qualification time set to 5, with the tyre wear rating set to ×3, with the fuel consumption rating times 1. Obviously the race details itself, you can change the brake balance to how you like it. Shortcut penalty set to weak, mechanical damage set to light, rolling start, of course. Shouldn't be an issue with the fuel, with the fact that the fuel consumption rating is set to ×1. So there's no mandatory pit stops. However, you're going to have to use the two different tyre compounds, as I mentioned. So other than that, we should be good to get on with the task in hand. So just looking at the practice times. So my friend Eric has obviously put in a 16.8. So I'm only, like 5 times off the top of the friends list, of course. And then you got Moreno, who's the quickest on the lot, and that driver's in the BMW. So you got a Ferrari in second, a Lexus, Toyota, 4 different manufacturers, of course. You got the Nissan, Mercedes, got the Beetle, Subaru, Renault, Audi, Citroen, interestingly, Lamborghini, McLaren. So that's the top McLaren driver from what I can see in the leaderboard with 16.7. So Genesis, Suzuki VGT, Mazda, Beetle, Subaru WRX, Porsche, so yeah, it's gives you a rough idea as to what the field size. So that's the slots that even if I get a result, no matter what, where I finish, as long as it's obviously anywhere in the top 8, and then sometimes the top 9, even if it does come to it. So that's one of the best chances about what I can do before later on in the day it gets a lot busier, where a lot of people will be finishing the shift at work, through the 915 jobs or whatever, and then they'll be straight on that, and therefore just to get as much practice as they possibly can, and then get the slot in as well. So get a bit of free practice in. Should be within the 17 on my first warm-up lap, but we'll see. Just about. So I've done some practice behind the scenes in terms of strategy for the race itself. Obviously, you can do the medium tyre starter and then go on to the softs. So it's just a certain lap of that good at to pit in. So other than that, we're very much in good shape to be sure that we have a pleasant race. Well, you cannot promise anything sometimes, but just to get a clean race meeting throughout to the best you can, and therefore that hopefully we get a result wherever I qualify. As long as I get a good qualifying together, that's the one objective. But the race itself is another objective. Whoa, I don't want to be doing that too. Another factor too is the pit entry speed. So just got into the pit lane just pretty quick also, but with no prisoners whatsoever, going 100 mile an hour on the entry speed to keep it within the lines the best you can. And the result of that is, well, if you go over the line, no matter what colour the line, whether it's the white line or the yellow line, then you'll be dished out a 3-second penalty for crossing the line, whether it's on the pit entry or the pit exit. So you don't want to be doing that in the race. Left the indicator on. got a bit wide there. So just a bit of finesse and the trailer braking if I can. And it's just that bit there where, over the curbs, where it's just a centimetres is all it takes to, where if you're going to go over the curbs or even the line, and the last thing you need is a penalty to be dished out. So I'm just going to come out of there before I forget. So I'm just going to have a look through what's going off with YouTube as to who is in Indian Stigs Live. I've got Super GT. He's also doing the Manufacturers Cup. So who knows, I probably might bump into him. Just like I've done before in some of the daily races at some point. And then we've got, who else? A couple of American friends streaming from doing open lobbies. Okie dokie. So the event schedule, so what's happening there as well is that we're going to be starting off at Road Atlanta in the US, and then we've got Dragon Trail Gardens in Croatia, and then we've got Deep Forest. So you have 2 fictional circuits in the calendar, and the rest of them is proper tracks. We've got Road Atlanta, Nürburgring 24 hour. That's going to be a cracking one, because having done the having had memories while doing the Nürburgring, pretty good memories, especially when I've won the what was it, the Manufacturers Cup race in the Exhibition Series or something like that, when the Porsche was one of them cars that I liked using at the time. And then so then you have Spa-Francorchamps. That will be that'll be an interesting one too, not knowing exactly what the weather's going to play out. And obviously same with the Nürburgring 24 hour, same with the Dragon Trail Gardens, because that's the only track where it rains, in the only part of the track where it rains, the Gardens layout, whereas the seaside that it don't rain at all. So then we've got Watkins Glen Long Course. So looking at it, really, that some would feel that, some would think that, a lot will think, obviously look at it as BMW territory, but I won't even guarantee anything, because it's not the case, because you have quite a mixture of all sorts of cars that are on the top 100 leaderboard. So you have a variety, but it's just driver preference and whatever brake balance setting they like, and so on. So we've got I think we've got an interesting lineup in terms of the calendar, and obviously the competition. Whoever that my competition may be, then it's myself that I have to race for, and for a manufacturer also that I'll be representing, because obviously when you have a lot of people, for example, that go on to the BMW, there's like less chances, because when you think about it, there may be like some of the quick drivers that'll be representing BMW, and then it's going to be tough to get the slot to compete in the finals in different parts of the world, and therefore that you want to showcase your ability of what you got, and then, which is not easy in many ways. So I made the I'm in the slot, the 5 o'clock slot. So I just want to get a feel of the mediums once more. Having done some practice of the mediums, which the mediums don't feel too bad. You just got to get a bit more rotation with the brake balance, setting it 5 to the rear. As for using the set of soft compound tyres as well, that's another thing I like to bear in mind when it comes to tyre wear and how I adjust the brake balance or so. I'm not loading my Ghost up. You can feel a bit of a slide as well. So roughly around a second. So obviously when the tyre and fuel consumption rating is on, it feels different. And then when you're racing with other people as well, you don't really know what tyres they'll be on, unless majority of them will be on the mediums. You notice the pace as well, then therefore that you'll get a rough reading as to how the race is going to pan out. Bit of Tokyo drifting there in the McLaren, having gone off the grass. Gotta go into the softs quickly. So we're on the softs. So it is doable to gain some time having hugged the apex a little more than my ghost lap. So the objective, well, for this moment is to build the confidence as you go along without worrying too much on the on getting fast on so. As long as I'm not burning myself out, then that's the main thing. Having done a night shift last night, then obviously you were just like easy as you like, just get through the task in hand and then smoothly, and therefore we'll just get there in the end in one piece. And as for that, therefore that I was able to be sure I wake up okay with plenty enough sleep, which is a positive. Obviously had to shape in my beard to the best I can, as you can see there. It's getting there, and also to have something to eat as well, just a bagel and a banana and had a coffee as well. Indian Steak, welcome along. Thank you for tuning in, buddy. Thank you for tuning in. For those who don't know Indian Steak, he has a channel for those who like to go and check him out. He does open lobbies, some league racing ventures, whether it's anything Graduate World Series related, and so on. Obviously, he also does some daily races as well. So Indian Stig's your guy to go and check out, and he's not far off the 1,000 subscriber mark on YouTube for those who like to go and have a look at his content. So I appreciate you stopping by, although you are live right now, so obviously as soon as I've gone live, I had to spare a moment to say hello and smash a like, wish you best luck, and yeah, hopefully you get a result. So I'm gonna go for a quick toilet break. Just need to pull off here for a moment, and then so I'm gonna go for a quick toilet break, and then I'll be back in 2 secs. I'll just park it here then, shall we? So I'll be back in 2 secs. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Does anybody want me to sing a song before we get going? Anyone watching? I'm not too bad, like, but I can give it my best, and that's all I can do. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, I've been waiting for this moment all of my life. Oh Lord, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, I've been waiting for this moment all of my life. Oh Lord, oh Lord. Anyway, good luck to those who are taking part in round 1 of the GT World Series Manufacturers Cup, and don't worry about if you haven't had the best of races, because there's always another opportunity coming. So let's do this. Let's do this. Welcome along, Clay Jacks. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you're well, my friend. Oh, somebody's left. So that brings it down to 15. So got Andy in there as well. I might have recognized somebody familiar, but yeah. So how many points do you get? Oh, 299. Okay, so just 1 point off 300. Okie dokie. So we've got Big Fat J, who I race with, and yeah. So we've got the Audi, we've got the Porsche, we've got BMW, Ford, Ferrari. So I'm the only McLaren in there, I believe. Whew. Didn't want to come out that soon after I pressed the throttle. So this is Captain Maverick speaking. We're just about to get down to business and do the driving on the track. Let's do this. This felt good. What time can I get? Oh. I'm quicker on this sector. Let's do this. A little better. Whoa! Wasn't sure what the car was gonna do. My tires are going away. Yep. That's probably the best I could do. Unless somebody else manages to improve. I'll just let this person by. Oh, you got company, Clay Jacks, have you? Well, not as much company in my lobby. Only Andy, who I know pretty well, but not so much with others who I raced with on the previous GT World Series. So, no pressure, Clay Jacks. Best wishes to you and your race. Don't stress her too much if it's not going your way, because another opportunity will come later on if you're free. So that puts me 5th. So what I'll need to do is choose tyres, and I'm gonna go with them. So those will be, but we're watching. Feel free to use it, but what I won't really know unless somebody tells me any different is that somebody's on different tyres to mine. Okay. Thanks, Andy. GG to you. Best wishes to you in the race. Let's play the music. Let's get down to business and do the talking on the track. Good luck and have fun. Let's do it for McLaren. What number am I on? Number 12. Okie dokie. So there's 15 people in this lobby because somebody left. So that gets us one opportunity more in terms of position. Get the tyres a little bit more warmed up. Somebody's got a penalty. So I've got to be mindful of the approach. So, currently running in 5th where I started. I've got a car behind as well who's lucky to seize that opportunity. Benzo's got a half-second penalty. Knew he'd be using the grass. Looks like the third place driver's slipping away from second place up front. And then we've got the leader who's just like running away with it. Menzo feeling the pressure there. I sense an opportunity. Oh, snap of oversteer there over the curb. Yellow flag, something's happened. Oh, that's the back marker. Yeah, I thought that majority of people around them looked like to be on the mediums, considering the pace they're on. I'm closing in. I'm closing in nicely. Just got to be mindful of the driver in front with a 1 bar. Closer than I have been all race. The Audi's in the pits. Smashed into the barrier there. Go ahead if you want. Okay, so he's let me by. Oh. Oh, my. Apologies. Braked a little bit late in there. Let's go. Oh no, sorry to hear that, Andy. Welcome along. Welcome to the stream, and thank you for tuning in. Sorry to see what happened, mate. But hopefully you get another opportunity to get another race in. Oh, my apologies. I got hit from behind. There we go. Settle down now. So I've got two Ford GTs in front, then we've got another car up front. So this is a battle for P3 effectively. Copy, Andy. That's the plan. It's not going to be easy as we go along. Thought about it. Nope. Oh. Ah. Sorry about that. Welcome along, Alex. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you're well. So for those who are just tuned in, then obviously I started 5th and then was looking like to go for a solid result, but then obviously some misfortune from my side when it comes to the wheel-to-wheel action, also bumper-to-bumper. So it's not been the easiest to keep your head composed, which throughout I've just been very much laid back. But obviously when you feel that the pressure, then you just got to excel from it. So, but if I could finish this race in one piece in the top 8, I'm more than happy, because it's not been the easiest of races to tell you the truth. Oh, bloody hell. I said that something was going to happen, and it certainly did. So I just need to go after Alessandro for P5. No worries, Alex. And best luck to you if you're racing later on. Yeah, and that's what the close racing combat can do to some people sometimes. You just have to sit back and then let things flow, and then make most of other people's misfortunes, which is exactly what I'm going to do. But the race is not done yet. Alessandro's going way wide there, kicking up a bit of grass. 2 laps to go. I'll get back to the comments after the race, so leave me to it. Doing the driving on the track, talking on the track, whichever you phrase that. Because you know what time it is? It's Daddy C time. Let's go for it. Copy, Andy. Last lap now. Might have a penalty, but it's going to be close. Computer says no, I did not. Maybe. Ah. Oh. I got there in the end. Could have been better in some ways. But we made it. So I've got some DR rating increase, so that's a plus. So it was pretty tight from as soon as I got onto the racing soft tyres, then it was going to be all or nothing in that one. And obviously looking at well, how some of us have done, especially Big Fat J have made most of other people's misfortunes by pitting 1 lap earlier than the opponents, or 2 laps, should I say. So which does give us the chance to go and have a look at what's been unfolding. So I hope your race went well, Clay Jacks, if you have done it. Best luck to you, Andy, and hope the race goes well for you, and I hope to see you again soon. So let's look at the Nations Cup replay, shall we? No problem, no problem. Well done, Clay Jacks. Well done. I raced with the Kevin De Bruyne, which obviously sounds close enough to Kevin De Bruyne, the football, of course. So yeah, well done to you for getting 342 points for the P2 in the lobby you're in, Clay Jacks. Should be pleased with that. So let's see how we get on first. So Alessandro obviously did get a track limit violation penalty for going this wide there, as you can see, over the curbs and of course the white line. So that left him a half-second penalty. Just want to see how that's pan out. So there's nobody else that pitted in for new tyres as of yet. And then let's see Alessandro's pit entry. Just very much over the line on the pit entry, and it got a bit too fast there, and then smashed into. So although he made most out of well, the sticky situation in that sense, obviously Johan, the Big Fat J, of course, he too got into the pits the same time as Alessandro. So he made up a lot of time there by keeping it nice and neat, and then Alessandro didn't on the pit entry. So one thing I have to do is that I thought at first that he was going to let me go to the right, but then it meant he was pulling over to the right, allowing me to overtake. And obviously I'd just like to see, so he braked just after the 200 meter. I'm sure it was the 200. It's just like close to 150, shall we say. So he braked at that, and I braked just a little bit later, so a bit too much of the brakes, of course. Yeah. So I fluffed my lines in that one. And I have re-bumper damage, so that I apologise for that. But it didn't really affect the Italian in either way, having managed to overtake me around, leaving me some rear bumper damage, and then he didn't get the front bumper damage also. And then there was this bit where I was just getting around to the brake balance and so on, and then, yeah, it's one of them things where I'm just like, put my hands up, and then because it's just like one of the things that where it's just like you never know which part of the track of it you're coming out of it on a group of people you're with. So as it turned out that having pitted later than Alessandro, which luckily I didn't run into his path, of course, because otherwise I could have gone on to run into the back of Alessandro, who messed up his lines also. So just like see here, because I did feel the slight hit tap from the rear. So just look at this person here. So I braked there, and then he didn't lift it. Also, although it's just by a split second where I was braking, I was just about to brake at the 200 meter board, as you can see there with the ABS being turned on. And then, yeah, it's some little things that didn't put me off by the slightest, having managed to keep it pointed in the right direction also. So, yeah, it was a bit scruffy, well, considering that I have to try and fire the sticky soft tyres on also. So I did see that well, Blazer did have an off somewhere. I just lost it over the by going over the curbs and going onto the grass. That's what happened. So basically it was a driver error in that sense, which was unfortunate. Whoa, bloody hell. Even when he had his off, and then obviously to rejoin unsafely in that manner, and that person thought that they were ghosted, that the Spanish driver were ghosted, got smacked into the back. So let's have a look. So the Spanish driver lost it by going over the curb onto the grass, losing control of the car, ended up in the barriers, paused the game prematurely, rejoining on the racing line unsafely, getting smacked into the back also by the other driver, which left him nowhere to go. But luckily the ghoster didn't luckily well, the car hasn't been damaged, and it didn't get a penalty for causing a collision with the car. Well, obviously for that driver, because it was that driver who smacked into the back of Blaze, leaving him nowhere to go. Thought for a moment he were going to be ghosted, but then paused the game, and yeah, that's literally messed up the Italians' race up in that sense. So it was just like that moment there where I was literally just keeping close to the two fours, whilst the two fours were fighting. Looked like I was going to give him a little bump draft, of course, but then obviously a bit too slow out of the corner left me well with front bumper damage, and the Italian didn't get rear bumper damage also. So it was unfortunate from my side with stuff like that happens. But in the meantime, I've made sure that I had to step back, because you never know how the midfield pack was going to pan out, because you have some that are on different sets of tyres and so on. So you had some pitted on lap 13, some pitted on lap 14, one pitted on lap 15, 13, 14. So quite more closer strategies in terms of when to pit a bit, but only to have it make a difference. Where if you're going to have one lap fresher tyres than your opponent, or one lap older tyres than your opponent, so you never know which way it's going to go. If you know what I mean. So I just want to see, going into not this lap, but lap 20, where yeah. So obviously somebody's undercut -2 and save. Yeah, and that's something that most people will be looking to go and gamble on the points that they scored from the 5 o'clock slot and hope for the best. But as more people coming in later on the day, also, therefore that it's going to make the competition more exciting. So that Ford driver, Massot, who was on 1 lap fresher tyres, of course, looking like he was going to get a result. Just gone a bit too wide there, accelerated too early, dragged himself off the road. Unsafe rejoining, of course. Right in the front of the German's path. And that left the German the innocent party with the fact that the German had a front bumper, front left damage. Yeah. And did you see there, from his perspective, they were going to be close, and that hit him right in the front of the path. And that person didn't wait until maybe later on. No, he didn't wait. So that's just poor sportsmanship from that one. Having knocked somebody off the lines, having kept it on the track somehow. Unless, that person thought it's worth, just having it there. Welcome along, Bucky. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you're well. If you're doing the Manufacturers Cup later on, my recommendation, if you wish to take it on board, is to start on the mediums. So pit a lap around lap 12, lap 13, and whatever car you're in, you can use the brake silencer as a 4 to the rear or 5 to the rear. Obviously 5 to the rear definitely on the mediums. But as for going on the soft tyres, also, I've been pitted to complete the 2 tyre compound rule. Therefore, that you'll have to be sure that you keep the consistency together. Unless if you bump into a group of people also, like I have done with other people, then it's just a case of keeping the composure together, keeping your lines tidy, allowing all the time and patience you need to be sure that you keep everything smoothly to the best you can. And even if it's them like the smallest of touches, and yeah. You're in the Porsche. So obviously I had one person or two in the lobby I was in who was in the Porsche. Sadly that person's racer didn't last long after a moment. So therefore so medium tyres to start off with. So you can get to, say if you can get to the end of lap 11 or lap 12 from medium tyres to the softs, and therefore that you'll be able to get some laps out of that, as well as staying within the slip, because if you stay within the slip of the car in front, like 1 second for example, or 1.2, therefore that you'll be within a shout also, in order to keep that racecraft up also. So as of from my side, I started 5th, and I've only lost a little on pace, even though for when I came across that BMW driver were just literally flying, which you could say that the BMW is like the car to use, but I won't even guarantee with the fact that it's the OP car for this online qualifiers, because at the end of the day that whichever manufacturer you're representing, and whoever gets the most points for the manufacturer will be given a shot. That's all it is with the online qualifiers. So B-rated driver, S-rated driver, sportsmanship in that side, shall I say. Yeah, this is the thing that, I mean, if you can get a qualifying lap together in those 5 minutes, whilst dealing with the pressure as you go along, and therefore that you want to excel from it, just literally take one corner as it comes in order to keep the lines tidy and so on, and therefore you'll be able to find the benefit of maximising yourself and the car underneath you also. So that person, well, looking at the Ferrari, it's not too bad on tyres, the 296 and fuel as well. Obviously with fuel it's not a problem. Same with the McLaren, because the McLaren too has no issues with the fuel also. So yeah, so obviously a lot of people, where if you go, for example, as I was mentioning earlier in the stream, that if you go with a BMW, and a lot of people going for the BMW, it's going to be very close or even thus far to get to the point where obviously you want to get to as many points as possible and build on the consistency as you go along. I mean, like, for the latest patch they've done, which was a week after the Spec 3 update, like every single GR3 car, apart from the Lamborghini, has increased the BOP, which obviously made the differences to the car's characteristics and stuff. Is it still your top 3 races over the season that add up? It could be Clear Jacks, but I might be wrong, but I don't want to speculate too much, because if it's like the same format, then obviously they'll just take on the best of all 3 races. You just take on the best 3 results you possibly can. How that Porsche looked on the softs. Yeah, I can have a look, but I doubt there was going to be a Porsche on the who finished towards the end. So you use the VR. Okay. So you see the top 10. Not seeing a Porsche finishing in the top 10, as you can see. Quite a mixture really of like the top 4 are finishing different cars. The BMW, Audi, Ferrari, Ford. Obviously there's myself in the McLaren. There's 2 different models, the Endurance and Sprint. Obviously the winner has gone with the Sprint. So and Andy was the only one in the Porsche, but sadly for Andy's race, finished up somewhere, because let's see if he had a moment when he got off the track. Well, that was weird. What he told me early on the stream, that the PlayStation broke. The PlayStation broke down, so unfortunately I couldn't provide the information that you're after, Bucky. So apologies from my side, because there's not a lot about I could do with the fact that the one driver who was in the Porsche also had a misfortune through no fault of their own, via a mechanical issue, which is the PlayStation itself, for example. But it's one of them things. One of them things that, well, I don't know if he crashed out about, or it's just that as soon as the PlayStation breaks down, then obviously there's not a lot you could do also, or the game crashed. Not sure to the full extent of what he meant by that. So let's open the ticket, shall we? Anyhow. So after he had a DNF, came into the streamer just to say hello. which I do appreciate a lot. Hope to see you. So it was nice guy and respectful, which I do appreciate a lot. So yeah, it's so that's a bit of extreme coming also. So yes, here we go. I'm gonna take on the points. So obviously it's just a case of building the consistency as you go along, because what happens there is that by the time that that some people, well, those who have been in the same lobby as I were, will probably either gamble or just play it safe. So I'll probably just play it safe. With just enough points in the bag. Looking to build on the consistency, no matter the challenges or so. Yeah. So I just want to spare a moment to say thank you very much to those of you who are tuned in to say hello while on the go, and thank you very much to those who have been racing with and enjoying themselves, and no matter what. The dude that rejoined after the crash and dropped. Yeah, that's obviously with the one lap fresher tyres, which obviously it certainly made a difference in that sense, but due to the driver error, who went off in the first corner on the roll, rejoined unsafely right into the path of the German, which left the German looking like the innocent party, even though that he was the one who was that's suffering a lot also. As of so far, Clayjax, well, because it's the first race of 6, obviously you have the points to score, which was, I think it was 236 or something, 236, something like that. So that's quite a lot. That's not too bad, well, considering with it being my first race, and obviously the earlier slot, of course. So obviously that it's just to see how it pans out during the qualifiers. So next time I'll be live is on Saturday, where we're off to Dragon Trail Gardens. So that's going to be interesting to see how that pans out also. So yep, be getting some practice on the board behind the scenes when I'm free. So obviously started 5th, finished 6th. Maybe it could have been a little better in some ways, but it's just one of those things where I just had to be sure that I just keep everything pointed in the right direction best I can. Although that if it was, it could be worse. It could be worse. Just as low as top 8, which it turned out the person who finished top 8, from what I remember, just seeing from the moment the race ended, that drops their DR. But the plus side from my race, increase of DR. So I'm happy. So obviously looking like the BMW is the one. But yeah, but I can't guarantee you to the full extent, because whichever lobby you can put in, it's different, and a different group of drivers as well. That's a different story. So I won't say that the BMW is the case, but then it's just depending on your preference and so on, and you want to just get the best of it out of yourself and the car underneath you, with a certain brake balance setting also, and as well as having the enough knowledge of it with the tyre and fuel consumption rating and so on. So there's a lot of things to take into account for sure. So, and I'm sure that you guys will be able to adapt to that for sure. So yeah. No problem. Bucket. Thank you very much for tuning in as well. Thank you to Clayjax, and those who've been watching at the background: Alex, DZ, Andy, Indian Stig. So, and those who have been watching, thank you once more. And let's see how I'm getting on with. So, welcome to the new subscribers onto my channel and to my community. So, anybody liking the content, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate your time and efforts and your unconditional support as always. And best wishes to you guys if you are going to do a 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock slot for the manufacturers, if you get chance. So other than that, I'm just satisfied with how I've made most of out of some which look like to be promising for the front line, but at the same time you want to be sure that that you make most of one race as it comes, which is the right mindset to have for sure. So anyway, I'm gonna have to cut short and thank you very much for those of you who are tuning in, and have a great evening, great afternoon, great morning, wherever you are. And from myself, Danny C, I'll catch you on the next one. Take care all, and bye bye.